Morning. For those of you that I don't know, I'm Jason Farmer. I have the honor of serving as this year's Stewardship Chairperson. I've always thought if you have to speak in front of a group, one of the easiest things to do is tell a story, something you're familiar with and that maybe relates to the topic. So I got two stories this morning. The first is how I ended up here. My father-in-law, Pete Rowe, who most of you know, and Ludd, who all of you know, are two people that I find it pretty hard to say no to. Pete called me about 18 months ago. He was on the nominating committee. I don't know if I was his first call or his last. Asked me to join the session again, and I, of course, said yes. About 3 days later, I get a call from Ludd, and it wasn't a question. It was, I would like for you to chair the stewardship campaign. So I, of course, said yes, and here I am. Second story is about my grandfather. In 1977, I was 4 years old. My grandfather suffered a massive stroke. I don't remember much about it because I was so young. I do know it was bad enough that doctors initially said he would probably not survive, and if he did, he would be brain dead. Over the course of several months that followed, he actually began to defy all those expectations. He lost all the movement on the right side of his body, but he did slowly regain movement on the rest, in the rest of his body. At some point, he entered physical therapy and eventually began to walk again. I don't remember exact time frames, but within a couple of years, he was able to drive again. In my eyes, this recovery was miraculous. One thing he never recovered was his speech. He could say two words. He could say no, and he could say right. However, it never inhibited his ability to show his love for both his family and his faith. And as long as I can remember, every Sunday at Piedmont Park United Methodist Church, my grandfather was one of four older men that collected the offering. He walked with a severe limp. He drug his right foot behind him as he walked. He couldn't use his right hand at all, but he collected the offering with his left hand. And while their means were not great, they never failed. He never failed to place an offering in the plate for him and my grandmother. The theme of this year's stewardship campaign is Generations of Generosity. My grandfather died in 2007. He was one of the greatest generation. As I got older, I realized it was his experience and his faith that taught me the importance of stewardship. Over the coming weeks, you'll hear how our stewardship, our time, our talents, and our money impact both people here and throughout the world. I would ask that as we move through the coming weeks and towards Commitment Sunday on November 13th, that you would prayerfully consider what your part will be in supporting the community of faith that is Westminster Presbyterian Church. Thank you.